It's the Sports Chasers Podcast. Coming to you live and direct with your host and your moderator, Kevin L. Warren. This is a real sports podcast for real fans.
Hey, what's going on? Good morning, everybody. Hope everybody's having a great Sunday morning and a great weekend thus far. Hey, welcome to another edition of the Sports Chasers Podcast, coming to you live and direct. This is the Gridiron Rundown College Football Edition, Week 8. A lot of things to get into. There's only me and DA this morning. DA, what's up, my brother? How's it going?
It's another Sunday. I'm glad to be here. Got some surprises, man. Well, not really surprises, but
the first game, I think this was a surprise. So let's just go right into it. Virginia went to Carter Finley Stadium and at Chapel Hill in North Carolina. They defeated the North Carolina Tar Heels 31-27. And the thing about this game, North Carolina was up late third. And kudos to Virginia, man. Drake May, he was 24-48, 347 yards. Didn't play bad game. Did have that one crucial interception towards the end. And Virginia's quarterback, he was 20 of 30. Musket, he was 20 of 30 for 208 yards, 1 TD, 1 interception. North Carolina's dreams of maybe hanging out with the postseason might have been done with that loss. Bad loss. Virginia was 1-6.
Yeah, 2-6. Yeah, they were 1-6, 2-5. But it's just a situation of something we talked about for the most part the whole season, catching up with North Carolina again. They don't play defense, right? So they get up like 17-14 at the half. They score another 10 points. Virginia scores 17 points in the second half and win the game. So again, there are two sides of the ball, and you got to play both sides, man.
Yes.
And they don't, and they haven't all year. So it's just same old stuff came back to get them because they haven't played any defense all year, and they got smashed out.
Man, this could have been a perfect opportunity. Like I said, the season's getting far ahead. We're about to roundabout into November, and you know what that means. The weather's getting a little bit colder. And I just
the whole potato bowl. That's what you're gonna be. You don't play the defense.
Yeah, I thought this would have been, at least if the Tar Heels. I don't have their schedule in front of me, but at least if they, maybe could have ran a table, could have been a consideration.
They probably will, or I think on their end of it, there's a good chance that they'll run the table on, right? So, excuse my French, but sugar on the iced tea, Clemson, Miami just tied. So yeah, it's not like it's over, right? So they'll still get another shot and they still may play in the ACC Bowl, whatever that is here in Charlotte, at some point, right? Because
the Duke Mayo Bay Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, Duke got smashed. They're on the same side. So Duke, Miami, Clemson, and North Carolina State, Duke, Clemson, and Miami all on the same side, I believe. So
yes.
So it kind of whoever they're playing on the other side.
North Carolina scheduled down the stretch is next week they got Georgia Tech. They play Duke on the 11th. They play their rivalry game, the Friday after Thanksgiving. North Carolina State. I'm sorry, I skipped the game. They face Campbell on November 4th, and their second and last game will be against Clemson.
Yeah.
So
they'll get a chance, but none of these teams are
nope. It's going to help their cause.
Yeah, top 20 teams, except for I think the Duke game, and who knows where they'll be by that point. So you got to play defense, man. We always say beat the teams you're supposed to beat, but in college football, it's for sure you're going to need some help, especially if you're not doing your job. So,
Nope, definitely not. Let's go on to North Carolina. I believe the polls have not come out yet, but both North Carolina's 10 as of now. They will probably take a significant dip.
Yeah, past 15.
Yeah, this is a bad loss. I think the game of the day, we'll go on to this. The Utah Utes continue to be a thorn in the University of Southern California's side. They defeated the Trojans on yesterday, 34-32. I happened to watch the last half of this game, and man, both quarterbacks played really good. That dude Barnes is pretty good. I know all the hype about Caleb Williams, but ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you really need to take a look at my man Bryson Barnes from the Utah Utes. Man, he slung that ball for 14 and 23, 234, 235 yards, 3 TDs, 1 interception. And
if I'm not mistaken, he's a transfer portal kid.
Yes, he is. Definitely. He's a transfer portal kid. And the thing about this game, like I said, shout out to USC, because USC was down and they was able to go when Williams did that bootleg. And in the last, to me, they left too much time on the clock for Utah to come back. And then there was that crucial targeting call. I hated that call on number 90 on Bear. I forgot his name. He was so emotional. He was crying on the.
I would have been too. It was a bad call.
It was a bad damn call, bro.
Listen, and this is part of that. When we say the sports are fixed, this is where they come from, because physics you still can't change. So if I'm jumping to stop the ball,
right? Come on, bro.
Right, I'm up in the air. I'm 300 something pounds. I'm jumping up to hit the quarterback. If I come down and he didn't launch his body into him. He didn't spear him.
His face mask.
It's not a penalty, dog. Well, we can't. What are we gonna put? What was that? I forget that movie, man. My wife and I used to love it. We joke about it. Little Giants.
Little Giants, yes.
The bubble wrap around his whole body. We can't do that. We can't put like bubble wrap around their whole bodies, man. It's
football.
And this is what it is. Yeah, and you kind of got to deal with it, right? Right. This is what we're doing here. So yeah, I can't. I don't know.
Man,
cost games, man. Cost games.
It definitely costs games. Bro. Anyway, USC, their running game was on point last night. Lloyd was he had 86 yards. He kept on ripping the ball up, man. But shout out to Utah for they have been a pain in the butt to USC the last few years, and Utah is a very good team. They was 14 at the time. The polls have not come out, of course, and they both were 6-1. They was 6-1.
I think.
I think Utah was 5-1 at the time, and USC was 6-1. USC now, I think their playoff dreams are down the toilet.
They didn't belong. I mean, they're a good team.
Whoa! You said they didn't belong in the playoff.
No, I didn't think that they were a good enough team to make anything different to what we're seeing every other year, right? So you have a team play well, Power 5 team, but then they get to the playoffs and get smashed, and you're like, damn, you want to see good games in the playoffs. So I think until the expansion comes, some of these teams really just need to hang out on the outside looking in, because, like I say, people will learn. There's a difference between being a great team and a great program.
Yes. And
USC used to be a great program. Right now, they're a great team every now and again. They're not a great program right now because they're not top 5, top 10 every year, all year. They come in and out. So I think it comes with recruiting. And we got to just stop rushing the process, I guess would be the stupid way to say it. But hell of a quarterback, but the rest of that team did not, and they got Jerry Rice's son. They got a good running back.
Yes.
Defense is decent. Not great though, right? So, because we all know Colorado doesn't have a great offense, and Colorado put damn near 50 points on them. So, it's not a thing where we're going to sit out there and say that they're a great team as of today. I think they're having a good season with a great quarterback. Had a chance at double Heismans, but that's out the window. I don't even know who's, I don't know. Couldn't tell you who's next on that front, but it is what it is.
What you talking about the Heisman front?
Yeah. So,
what about Drake May?
He keeps losing though.
Yeah.
I mean, I know they love him,
and they don't get that award. You said it last week. They don't get that award to nobody else but quarterbacks now.
Yeah, they should give it to other folks, but yeah, they're not.
I think the last time somebody won was my main man from Alabama.
Yeah, Mark Ingram. Now, didn't Big Boy went after him? Derrick Henry. Didn't Derrick Henry win? Yeah, Derrick Henry won.
Derrick Henry won. Yes.
Yeah, so the last one was a running back. Was him. Was one of them.
But recently, they act like they can't get that thing to anybody else.
And that
at the downtown Athletic Club. Shout out to y'all. Y'all should make some changes. But yeah, I think that was game of the day. With Utah, and hey, Utah, they keep on winning. They might not sneak in there because they're not. It's not that they're sneaky. I just think again they play in on the West, and people sometimes forget that they might be playing. But if you really watch college football like me and D does, hey, you'll know that Utah got some serious players.
I think Washington will be the only team out that conference to make it. It's still only 4 teams, right? Or is it six teams, right?
I think it's 4 or 6. 4 right now. 4 right now.
Out of the pack, it'd have to be Washington. No one else has a chance.
Washington is serious.
Yeah.
So let's go on to the next game. The Ohio State and Penn State.
Kurt Franklin going to get. I mean, Coach Franklin going to get another job. And I got nothing against him. I think he's a hell of a coach, man. But we'll see because they're funny out there. That is a part of the world where there are certain games that you can do everything else, but if you don't win this game, it kind of doesn't matter. And so it doesn't matter because they haven't beat
games.
They haven't beat Ohio State yet. I don't think. Not a good little while.
No. I don't think so. Since since his regime has started,
let
me give it by the numbers. Or let me just read this from the AP. All-American Marvin Harrison Jr. made the difference for the number 3 Ohio State in the pivotal Big Ten matchup, and the Starling Buckeyes defense took care of the rest. If you watch that game, and as me and D did, that was the defensive struggle. Pretty much most of the game, man. I was like, man, ain't nobody going to score. I said it was trading field goals. It was going back and forth, But like you said, like the AP said, Marvin Harrison, who's going to be, he can play like his daddy.
Yeah.
He's going to be awesome on the next level. It's going to be something else. So let me read by the numbers. Ohio State wound up winning this game 20-12. Ohio State quarterback McCord, he was 22 of 35, 286 yards, 1 TD. Williams, the running back, was 24 of 62 carries, 1 TD. Like I said, this is the defensive struggle. Harrison, he made 11 catches for 162 yards and a late touchdown as Ohio State beat the Nittany Lions on Saturday in Columbus. The Buckeyes defense smothered Drew Alter and the Nittany Lions and extended Ohio's winning streak in this series to 7 games. So, 7 games.
They had
in a row.
They lost number 44, I believe his numbers at Penn State early in the game, defensive lineman and middle linebacker.
Yes.
They lost him, and I knew that would hurt him because he was real serious out there. But I just, for some reason, and I can't tell you what the reason is, that Coach Franklin is not able to get the players to compete against the Michigans and the Ohio States in that conference. So being third in most places is really cool, but not there. Not for that long.
No.
I guess if you took a look at how long it's been since they've beaten Michigan, it's probably been a few years as well. So like that means you're third fiddle, in a 3-horse race, right? Because who's the next team there besides, maybe every other year, Minnesota, Purdue, or somebody, but it's or Michigan State, but it's usually a Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State thing. And if you're third,
right,
that means you're last in that race, right? Because no one else is
So when you say compete, so if again, watch college football, the long history of Penn State, Joe Paterno, and all that stuff. And yes, there was some bad things that happened, some really, really bad things that happened underneath Joe Paterno. But football wise, story college football program. Why can't they get these kids to
I
I
don't know.
guess put them over the top?
I can't say why they don't. Especially with NIL, right? So I could say before, I used to always joke years ago that Ohio State was the only team in the Big Ten that was playing dudes like they was in the paying dudes like they were in the SEC, right?
They used to
But
say that always on the phone with me. He said,
yeah,
okay,
for years.
Ohio
And,
State's the only ones paying.
yeah, they're supposed to win. They were supposed to win. But now with everybody paying, this is where I guess it's a good thing, right? If you want accountability, because now you have to say to the coach, well, coach, everybody's paying. What's wrong? Why aren't we winning? Right? Everybody's paying. Why don't we have those same type kids?
Dabo's not going for those kids.
Oh, he will next year, or he won't have a job either. He will. Listen, the market. You'll be what the market bears.
As
Right?
they lost to Miami last night down in Miami.
Yeah. You can't continue to do it. So what he wants to do, and we'll talk about that real quick, because he just wants to be holier than thou. He wants to be the dude.
Sanctimonious.
Yeah,
yes.
I want to be the guy that bucks the system. You're not.
Okay.
You're not. But
ex Saint Nick, he's conforming. He's like, I got to do it.
Well, Nick been paying. It's just the fact now it's in front of everyone that he's paying.
Yeah.
The reality is that you're not going to have a situation in the NCAA's as of today that's going to where coaches get the excuse of we don't get the players, because you can get the same players that anybody else gets because you're paying NIL like they're paying NIL. So now coaches coach and win. Get the right coaches. Do what you need to do. Like, you can't blame. That's the biggest thing that coaches and could do is blame. Oh, we're not getting the same type of kids. Yeah, that was an excuse forever. Now, why are you not getting the same type of kids? You paying. You're paying like they paying. So what's the difference? So either you're coaching or you're not coaching. So that's kind of what I see. Either you are or you're not. So
100%.
So
let me move on to the next. Game. Number 9, Oregon defeats Washington State 38-24. If you watch this game, as I did, Oregon had their throwback 1996 uniforms on.
old
school joints. Those look pretty good. According to the AP, Oregon got his rebound win, but the Ducks were far from satisfied. Bo Nix threw for 293 yards and 2 touchdowns while setting the NCAA record for the most career starts. And number 9, Oregon down Washington State 38-24. Here, let me go by the numbers. Bo Nix was 18-25 for 293 yards. He had 2 TDs. Ward for Washington State, he was 34 for 48. That's a lot of times throwing that ball, man. Even in college, geez, 438 yards, 1 TD. I know the college game is just a little bit different, man. But man, you gotta
48 is too much. It's always going to be too much because you're not giving your defense a chance to rest if you're throwing the ball that much. So,
so that's some of the things I love about you, how you break stuff down. Throwing the ball is great, but what about the other side of the ball, right? You don't give your team the opportunity to.
If you're running the ball, it takes more time. Your defense gets to sit a little bit more. It's hard chasing dudes too. It's all hard to do, and it's all these parts of the game have to come together to make one cohesive game plan. And mostly that game plan is going to have some, hey guys, defense is going to need to chill for a minute. You get out there, you throw the ball 4 times, and they're back on the field because you went 3 and out. Then the defense is back out there, and so it's a lot easier if you give guys a chance by running the ball a few times, and then you give your chance some resting time. That's all. Give your team a chance to rest, and get back, catch their breath, reorient themselves if the last series was a bad series. Figure out what they did wrong and get it right next time around. But if you just keep, throwing the ball 48 something times a game, boy. Yeah, that's not easy. Not easy on
No,
the
it was
defense.
definitely not easy. And Oregon pretty much pulled not pulled away, excuse me. They had this game in Washington State, who's decent. They're 4-3. This is a game Oregon should have won, so Oregon is still in the hunt for the playoffs as we continue down the road. Like I said, uh me and D, we agree that Pac the whatever it is, Pac 10, 12, Pac 4, this has been decent football. It's been
Yeah,
decent football over the
yes,
year.
sir. Yes,
Intriguing
sir.
football over the year. I think out of all the conferences, my opinion.
I think they're the most, what's the word? Most parity in the conferences. There are more teams that are about the same level, so you're going to have more games that are at least pretty good games, not those 65-6 scores and games like that people really don't want to watch.
Yeah, I think we had a couple of those. Yes, Michigan beat somebody. What? No,
Michigan
Michigan
State.
beat Michigan State 59-0. Real quick, D, your thoughts on that? I know that was not on the
Hard to
docket.
win. Hard to win when you don't have a coach and trying to pull things together. So we'll see how that whole situation pans out. But as far as the team is concerned, Michigan has a better team, and it looks like maybe Michigan State might have given up from
Oh,
a winning.
100%.
Yeah.
They
So
have given up halfway through, a little bit, three
yeah.
quarters of the way.
Yeah.
Sad,
Yeah.
so to speak. Sad, so to speak. Last game on the docket here. This game was closer than what the score indicated, man. I would say I'm proud of Duke, man. Duke hung in there against Florida State. Um, Florida State was ranked number 4 in the nation.
Yeah.
This game, like I said, this game was close. In fact, Duke was up going into the fourth quarter, and then Florida State scored those 3 touchdowns. They had that 194-yard drive, and
Yeah.
that pretty much sucked the life out of Duke. And that was it. Travis for the Florida State. Shout out to all the Seminole fans that's watching. Travis was 27-36, 260 yards, 2 TDs, 1 interception. Duke's quarterback Leonard, he was 7 of 16, 69 yards, and no TDs, 1 interception. Duke relied on running the ball yesterday. Moore was 16 of 100,
That's how
1
you stay
TD.
in them. That's how you stay in those games against teams that have more talent. You run the ball, hold on to possession, salt the game away, and you have a chance at the fourth quarter, or at least coming into the fourth quarter
They was
with the
winning. They
lead.
was up.
Yeah,
I watched
because
a little bit of
you
that, and I was like, wow. I said,
you
Duke
run the
is scared
ball,
in there.
run the ball, and you're okay. You throwing the ball, they would have been blown out early, way back.
100%. Sometimes you can't match firepower with firepower. And again, we said this earlier during the season when we talked about the NIL and transfer portal. Man, Duke is tapping into that bag, and they're
Oh
getting
yeah,
better players.
and
And
they got a bag. They've got a bag.
shout out to the basketball side for
Oh yeah,
creating some of that bag.
creating bag.
Because
Whatever it is, right?
that endowment at Duke, which is a private university, is
Yeah.
crazy.
Oh, it could get worse. Like it could get worse. Like if
Yeah.
you think things are weird and you want to see what this NIL thing could be, oh yeah. It could happen easy. You could have Harvard with the number 1 team in the country by next year if they wanted to do it that way.
Yeah. If Harvard wanted to participate and
Yeah.
and do it that way, you're absolutely right, D. You're absolutely right. D, before real quick, that's the games that we had. Let's run down like how we've been doing. What games that you need to watch next Saturday, and what games you probably need to do housework or go to the mall or
It was one of
whatever.
my. I think the Pitt and down like this. I think the Pitt Notre Dame game is going to be a better game than dudes think next week. For sure. I think that's going to be a pretty good game because Pitt's been playing very good as of late, and they look to be an older team, at least. So I think they're going to give Notre Dame a pretty good game next week. I don't know, yeah, I would give that as one. Oklahoma, Kansas, you could probably skip that one. Florida State, Wake Forest, you could probably skip that. Georgia, Florida, if you're a purist, You can watch it, but you could probably get outside for that too. Duke Louisville should be a good game.
Duke,
ACC game.
Louisville, yeah. No,
6 seed.
I think you want to watch Oregon versus Utah next week,
Yeah,
3:30.
yeah. That's going to be a good one too.
That's
Those are both on at the same time too. So that may be a little something there because they both on at the same time. And you're right. So, that Oregon Utah game is going to be a barn burner.
So get yourself set up with 5 TVs in the basement or whatever, and
do what you're going to do.
do what you're going to do.
Right.
What you got? What else you got, D?
Leave that Penn State Indiana thing. Go to the supermarket. BYU Texas. Leave that alone. Duke Louisville, like I said, you can watch some of that. Pittsburgh Notre Dame. We'll keep our fingers crossed. I'm not going to say it's going to be a great game, but we'll keep our fingers crossed. USC California, no. Tulane and Rice, good for you, Green Wave, but who cares? Tennessee and Kentucky. That's usually a game folks like in the Southeast as a game, because of the proximity. Mississippi, Vanderbilt, who cares? Washington, Stanford, who cares? Ohio State, Wisconsin, no disrespect. Oh, and the late night game, though UCLA should win this game, let's see what Coach Primetime and the Colorado Buffaloes have in the game against UCLA. They'll be going on the road to play UCLA. My prediction is UCLA wins this game, but we'll see what happens. Oregon State, Arizona, UNC, Georgia Tech, so you got 3 possible 4 books, this weekend coming up. A lot of yard work. It's kind of almost the at least in the Southeast, getting to the point in time where you can't really plant no more seeds and doing anything else with the grass. You got Halloween coming up that next Monday.
Yep.
I would say or Tuesday. Sorry, Tuesday. Other than that, I don't think there's any other. I would
Oregon, Utah, and NC State, and who was it? D. I'm sorry.
I would watch Oregon and Utah. You could watch Duke, Louisville.
Yep.
I think Pitt, Notre Dame could be a good game. And I think the Colorado UCLA game will probably be a good game. And Tennessee and Kentucky will probably be watchable games. I don't think I see any upsets, at least
no, me neither.
Within the big games this weekend coming up at all. So, but everybody have fun and let's watch some good football.
Yeah, that's all. That's all you want from as a fan, man. You just want to watch some very, very, very good football, man. So, hey, man, it's at that half an hour point. We're going to get out of here. Enjoy your football Sunday. I forgot to say this in the beginning, but make sure you like, click, and subscribe to the channel on the YouTube channel. On the podcast side, within the sound of my voice, make sure you guys go to Apple, Spotify, and give that 5-star review. 5-star review, man, so we can jack the algorithm up and I'm getting a lot of great downloads, man. I appreciate all of you guys within the sound of my voice who come back every week. We come on 3 times a week to give you this really, really good content, man. And we're striving for perfection, and we're striving to be the best damn sports podcast on the planet. Let me give you this really, really quick this thing that I found out. I was reading an article, sent it to all the guys. Hey, 62% of Americans, and I'll put it up on tomorrow, 62% of Americans say that they engage with podcasting more than regular media.
And it's pretty simple. Why, Kev?
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wants to agree with everybody. We are all the regular man. We are all the regular person. All right. We all don't live our lives as if we're superheroes or we're this or we're that or we're smarter than or we know more than. In the regular world that we all live and exist in, we can be right and we can be wrong and we all have an opinion. And I think the fact is folks respect the fact that we have an opinion. We're not disrespectful with our opinion, at least with the sports chasers. We try to, as I tell my kids, do what I say what I do. We don't, we want to talk all sports as much as we possibly can, engage a lot of different sections and segments of the sports world. And, why come out here and try to shout each other down? we may yell and scream sometimes jokingly, but when Ryan comes on, it's
Thursday,
yeah, but it's not. But for us, it's all love though, because
yes,
we're just doing it, because we can. And sometimes we have spirited about specific opinions, but the reality is that we respect everyone that plays, whatever sport they are, whatever sex you are, whatever level you're playing at, because you probably do that better than we do anything else we do in life, right? We're professionals in our lives, and you college kids are professionals in what you're doing and being students and being student athletes. So we're never going to disrespect you and say you stink or you suck. And I think
nope.
Without being on the margins of sports, I think most people, just like politics, are not left or right. We all lie somewhere in the middle. And that's kind of what we're doing with sports and the sports chasers, is that we're chasing sports and we're lying somewhere in the middle. There's some things we like and there's some things that we don't like, but I'm sure that's the same thing for everyone on the planet. So with that being said, I think, Kevin, we started this, and you, El Capitan, we started this years ago with one premise. We just wanted to talk about sports. And we don't want to be sensational. We're not trying to have
shock value.
Yeah, none of that stuff.
None of that.
That being said, we thank you, and we think the whole world it will be a better world if we all could just come back to the middle. So, just come right back to the middle.
Well said. I ain't got nothing else to say. On behalf of myself, I'm Kevin O'Warren, your host and moderator for the DA, for D-Dub and his accents. Dan, who's sick, get well, brother. For Mike Mills, and for James, the angry one, Warren, man. This is a Sports Chasers podcast. Make sure you tune in tomorrow night at 7:30 for Fourth and Short, the NFL segment. We talk about all the NFL games that came about on today, this Sunday. Enjoy your Sunday. Be good. Be great. Peace.
Later.